Thank you so much for joining me in our community update. I'm Dr. Fay, the Superintendent of Schools at Midlothian ISD, and I want to take just a few minutes to update you on some of the new things going on in the district, or just updates on things that are just everyday general things. And so today I want to reinforce that my true north for our students and our staff is to create a world-class system so that our students can be prepared for the jobs of today and the jobs of tomorrow. And so in doing so, we talk a lot about change, and I'd like to switch the narrative a little bit and just talk about progress. And so I'm going to challenge us as a community, as a staff, as a student body, as a city, to just think about where do we really want our education system to take our kids for the future, and that's progress. I will tell you that we have also sent our cabinet, which exists of all the assistant superintendents, deputies in the system, and we have done some lunch listening tours prior to Christmas break to kind of hear the concerns of the staff. What are the challenges? How does change impact them in the classroom and with the kids? And then I have followed that up most recently with a listening tour to every campus, and I still have 4 to do. I apologize. I haven't gotten to all of them yet, but to just kind of do my own listening tour about, the most recent request for the STAR comparison data, which we did in January, and then of course we followed that up just most recently with our taper data. And that is kind of like the big report card of how are we doing as a system academically. And if you'd like to see that, you can certainly go tune in to our last board meeting. Ms. Shelley Blaylock, who is just one of the most pleasant people on earth, did an incredible job explaining taper and the ins and outs of that. So I encourage you to review that board meeting, and it is currently online. Big shout out to our basketball teams. Basketball, it's not my favorite sport, but it is one of the ones that is kind of close to my heart because I was a head basketball coach. Heritage boys were the district runner-ups. Heritage girls were the area champions. And I'm going to come back to Heritage in just a second. Our MH girls were the district runner-ups, and I'm going to say a little bit about them as well in just a second. And then our MH boys were the boys by district champions. And so just all around, what a great year, and so proud of our kids. I want to speak specifically about the Heritage girls last game that I saw, and a big shout out to the coach and her staff, to the principal, to the parents, but textbook basketball. It was so much fun to watch, and the sheer pleasure that I got watching our student athletes be physical and yet respectful on the floor. I just could not be prouder. And so hats off to the staff and to the girls, and what a fine job you did. And then also to the Panthers, to the Lady Panthers, I watched that game and they were down significantly at the half, and they came out and they just put up a fight, and we didn't have the good outcome, but certainly something to be proud of as a community. And so thank you so much to our lady athletes at both of our high school campuses, and thank you to parents for supporting them. We are also currently involved in doing some community listening tours. They have been posted on our MISD Facebook page, and this is more about getting some initial feedback for our planning moving forward for the growth in our district. We have done a few presentations to our board most recently about the incredible amount of growth in student numbers that we're going to see in the next six to 10 years. And so we're doing some listening tours. We began that yesterday at LaRue Miller. Thank you so much to Miss West for supporting us. And then tonight we're going to be at J.R. Irvin, and I believe tomorrow night we're going to be at Long Branch Elementary. And when we come back from our well-deserved spring break, we will be doing the final one at Vitoski Elementary. That will actually be in both Spanish and English, and so we're hoping that you can join us for that so that we can get some initial feedback on where to take the bond committee once that committee is set, and give them the feedback so that we plan well, and we plan well for every corner of our district. I also want to say a big thank you to Kim Moss and Casey Nelson, our district destination imagination coordinators, for organizing and hosting the Greater Fort Worth Regional Tournament this past weekend, which was held at Frank Seal and at Midlothian High School. We had over 1,000 kids participating. We had about 2,000 parents that were here, and of course the incredible staff that had to come in and do all that work. We haven't had parents show up with their RVs, so it was definitely an all-day affair, and we have some video where you can just see kids having fun, and it's just so delightful. Another big shout out, though, for that event goes to Miss Shelley Blaylock, who is our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. And if you haven't gotten to listen to her, she's just a delight, one of the most positive people that I know, and she emceed the event, and hey, she's really good at that. And so thank you to her. If you get to see her or listen to her speak, you're gonna be pleased. We'd like to talk a little bit about some of the things that came out of the board meeting. One of them is that we did discuss our calendar options for next year. I encourage you to go look at that. The options are actually in part of the board book, and we will be bringing that for a final decision to our board in the March 21st board meeting. And that was truly remarkable work that was done by campus leaders, district staff, the DEIC, and so always a tough one, but certainly something that we're ready to get done, and so we can start planning for next year. We also just want to share that we do have currently in our system, we have enough minutes in our system to where we will not hopefully have to make up any of the bad weather days. So currently March 11th is a holiday for our students and staff, and we're hoping to keep it that way, and we're hoping that the groundhog goes away. Other than that, I am pleased to bring you the Employees of the Year. And the Employees of the Year are actually nominated by their peers, and then our board actually votes on them. And so this is the Instructional Aide of the Year goes to Heritage High School, Miss Jessica Moore. The Maintenance Service Team Member of the Year is going to go to Mr. Tom Calvert. Our Child Nutrition Service Team Member is going to go to Miss Jennifer Shook. Our Professional Services Team Member is going to go to an employee at Dietrich Middle School, Miss Tamara Hansen. Transportation Services, which is more of a district-wide piece, and cannot say enough about our transportation team during these times where we want to be safe and we want our employees to be safe, but more importantly, their courageous efforts in getting our kids to and from school very safely in all those bad weather days. And so thank you so much, and that goes out to Miss Deanna Cannon. Custodial Service Team Member of the Year goes to an employee at Midlothian High School, Miss Uliana Olvera. Our First Year Teacher of the Year goes to Vitoski Elementary, Miss Stacy Black. Paraprofessional of the Year goes to Vitoski Elementary, and that's Miss Stacia Maddox. And then, of course, our Leader of the Year, I wish it was me, but it's not, but someone that we all respect, admire, adore, love. He always finds the money, and that goes to Mr. Jim Norris, who is a long-term employee of the district, long-term community member, and so congratulations to Mr. Jim Norris and to all of the Employees of the Year. Thank you so much for joining me.